So this is Jon Del Arroz's Spectacular Comics. Now he has a series like this, which is in the first issue. You can actually go out and get these right now. They're on Kindle, they're on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description box below for anyone who might want to pick this up. But this is the second issue, and so these are full of like short stories, which kind of like, for me at least, it harkens back to like an older time when you kind of had like these kind of like short stories that were really fun and simple to pick up and read, and you didn't have to know any backstories. Me, I'm not a fan of too many shared universe stuff. Like for a one-off, that's kind of fine. For me, shared universe should be kind of an Elseworlds thing, but otherwise, I feel like comics should, like a whole bunch of superheroes should have their own universe and kind of be separate from everyone else. And so this is the kind of story I like. I like short kind of like anthologies with a bunch of stories in it. So here you have 4 short stories in here, and I actually featured here in the first story, Border Crossing, which the cover is actually based on. This isn't my artwork. Someone else drew this. Is really great work here, and they had a different interpretation for the character. But other than that, I did the first issue. The first story in this issue, and so I'm really proud of it. This first time I've been published in print. I had an opportunity 8 years ago to be published, but I wanted to keep the rights of my characters. They actually sprung on me all these draconian rules about owning the rights to any sequels they decide to make, having all movie, television versions, the rights to it and profits to it. And I was just like, what? I mean, why would I get this story world published that I'm working on when I lose all the rights, and then if it's popular, I don't get anything out of it. And so for my own integrity and for my own kind of like just control over my property, my intellectual property, I had to decline that. And so that was a long time ago. I've been trying to make comics since I was 10 years old, and actually have this stapled pencil crayoned version of a comic that I made when I was 10 about like this character who's a mix between Cyclops and the Punisher. And so I've been at this for a long time, guys. And that's at least 25 years ago now. So, and so I've been at this for a while, and I'm finally glad to be published. And you know what? I'm glad that I'm at an art level where I'm not going to be embarrassed by my art being out there for people to see. And so, when I first reached out to Jon Del Arroz about just trying this out, I figured I would just work on a few webcomics or something. He asked me what did I want to do, and I wasn't really sure, but then I started thinking, and I was like, I'd really like to do something noir, maybe something from like the 20s to the 50s, just kind of using kind of like an older style. But then I also thought about it. I'm like, there's stuff like Blade Runner, and neo-noir wouldn't be bad at all either. I could just kind of interpret it in a different way. And so he came to me with this story, and I was able to make a very dark looking kind of horror story. And so I'm very happy with the work I put into this and my output. It took me a while. I'm kind of not a quick artist. I'm a very slow artist, and that's just because I'm more technical as an artist rather than artistic. Like some people, they can just kind of put the strokes down and kind of sculpt the picture onto the page, whereas me, I'm very methodical. I use shapes and stuff to build it up, kind of like building blocks, and so it just takes me a little bit longer. But when I was working on this, it was initially just kind of black and white with a lot of stippling, and so I'm not sure if you can see this here, but there's a lot of stippled detail, and I do work at really high detail. This is like 600 DPI, and it wasn't until I got to this page, which had the kind of like 80s kind of Watchmen look, that I really liked the way the background colors kind of blended in here. And it wasn't really intentional. It was just something I had to do just to give off the effect that this was a well-lit area. But once I did that, I had to go back and change these, which only originally just had, like for this is a cop car, this is red and blue, just had very subtle colors throughout this whole thing. I went back and just like painted the whole thing, and now it's like really highly experimental. It's like some kind of neo-noir look, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think I achieved a look that I could be satisfied with. And some of the art here is really good, in my opinion. It's my own art, so I'm very happy with this. I'm happy with the way the page flows, the way everything looks. To me, I think I did a good job. Would I change anything? Obviously, looking on it back now, I would change some things. Some things I made a mistake on over here. This is supposed to be his right foot, but I wasn't really thinking about it when I was inking it, and so I accidentally made his left foot when I was inking it, and so this is the only thing I would say was really kind of off about it. And I don't know if someone's gonna do a sequel to this character in the future, they might want to put this in as an inside joke that he uses his left foot for the pedals. So, but other than that, yeah, I'm really happy with this, and I'm glad to be published here alongside a whole bunch of great artists too. Like over here, these guys have completely different styles, which in my opinion, they're just like really great, and they're really good at telling the story. There's a lot of interesting takes on these stories in here, and so I encourage people to go pick it up. Because these are kind of like these aren't things that are going to be they're meant to be read. They're not meant to be collected or anything. These are just stories that you would pick up and read at home, and then put on your shelf, and then pass it on as well. And so I'm really happy to be a part of Spectacular Comics #2. And if you want to support future content like this, where you can see what I'm up to, because if you guys follow me, I work on indie development. I do a lot of freelancing for a bunch of people, but this is the first time I've ever been published in print, and this is kind of where I want to go, to be honest. I want to get better and faster at art, to put out more issues, and then get my own stories out there too, because I've just got like a whole story universe to kind of just to draw from. And I'm working on something which I will show once it's kind of like, at least I got the first 2 issues done. So yeah, check this out. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description box down below, and support Jon Del Arroz, because he's supporting fine artists over here. And definitely pick this up if you can, in print or Kindle, whatever is good for you. Honestly, this is just meant to be read. I mean, don't worry about trying to find a collector's version. If he's going to do a limited print run, then I don't know, maybe you'll find out about it in the future. But when they collect a whole bunch of these Spectacular Comics into a volume or something, maybe he'll do a limited print run with a special cover, and you can check that out on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or something. But that's probably in the far off future. Until then, thanks for stopping by. Let me know what you think in the comment box down below. You can tell that I'm not sure if you can tell. I'm pretty deadpan a lot of the time, so even when I'm feeling excited, I don't know if other people can tell, but I am excited. And so yeah, check this out. Thanks for watching up to this point if you stayed, and catch you in the next video.